let's talk about this baby that's just here. In the nature, why the mares get birth like at 3, 4, 5 a.m. early morning? Why they do that? Because during the night, the animals got together and they get birth. And this baby had to be ready in 2-3 hours to stand up, to drink a milk, and to follow the group.
Wow.
Because of that. So it doesn't make any sense to get a birth in the middle of the day, because the group, one stallion sometimes with 30 mares, this stallion is taking care of the mares. They are moving all the time. So if you have one mare in the middle of the day getting birth, this mare will be a problem for the red.
You slow us down.
Yes, that's the idea. So because of that, the mares are getting birth early morning. That's the idea. It's not by guess, by chance. No, it's a natural behavior.
السلام عليكم، معكم عبد الرزاق حسن، حياكم الله في بودكاست مع الخيل. اليوم نستضيف دكتور مارسيو، بيطري ومتخصص في مجال إنتاج الخيل، ونتعرف أكثر عن عملية الإنتاج وأثر العناية بالخيول على الإنتاج، ومعلومات أخرى شيقة ومثيرة عن الخيول. نتمنى أنكم تستمتعون بالحلقة ولا تنسون تشتركون بالقناة. والآن أترككم مع اللقاء. So, Dr. Marcio, I really appreciate you coming on the show. Thanks for coming on. And, I'm really excited to talk about reproduction in your field. So I think I'll start off with a brief intro. What would you like to share with, people listening about Dr. Marcio?
Okay. Well, I'm a Brazilian vet working now in Emirates. I just came here like 60 days ago, and it's been interesting. I started to work with horses 25 years ago, a little bit more. I'm getting old, so got that. And since my second year in the vet school, and mainly working with reproduction. And it was been very interesting. I learned a lot. In the first half of my career, I dedicated myself to study mares, mainly reproduction. And after that, I spent 10 years in the field, after school, after doing researches. I spent 10 years doing embryo transfer, the real life of a vet. And after the half of my career, I started to dedicate, because it was a lack in my own knowledge, I dedicated to semen science, to study about semen, spermatogenesis, this kind of thing, stallions, and many pieces in this puzzle. But all of them are absolutely relevant at the end.
So basically, you started a very long time ago on your journey with horses, huh?
Yes.
But
yes.
did you start your journey with horse riding or no?
Oh, no. I'm from Brazil, from Rio de Janeiro, and we are very close to one huge Brazilian breed called Manga Larga Machador. It's not a Arabian horse. And all of them, we have contact with mares and the stallions there. But I'm from Rio. I'm from the city.
So city.
I'm
So
not.
you're not an
no, I'm not a
guy.
redneck.
Okay, no.
Absolutely, I'm not.
Okay.
But so I started having more contact when I was younger, and with cows.
Okay.
With daily cows.
Okay.
But when I started my vet school, I had opportunity to know about this reproduction thing that was booming in Brazil. And in horses, I said, okay, it's interesting. So the motivation was this new thing, this reproduction technology.
Of horses. Related to
Related to horses. and I love it. So I have to say that my passion for reproduction became first. And considering dairy cows and other opportunities, I said, oh, horses, okay, to do it in horses is much more interesting. And in the second step became this love um, of horses. That's the idea.
That's really nice.
That's the
That's really
idea.
nice.
So yes, they motivated me a lot. They pushed me a lot to understand that. And also the professors that I had the opportunity to work with a huge guy, American guy. His name is Oliver Joseph Ginter, O.J. Ginter. This guy not discovered, but explained it several things, like if you are using ultrasonography nowadays in equine reproduction, this guy described how to use that. And if we are doing embryo transfer or follicular induction, ovulations, many things, this guy described how it works, how it must be. And I had the opportunity to work with this kind of god, and it was good. So that's it. This is my life. No, it was not brief, but well, this is my
No,
life.
actually, it's very interesting. Very interesting.
And it's my motivation.
Dr. Marcio, in your field, you touch upon horse management, right?
Yes.
Because horse management is related to the reproduction. They play a big factor in reproduction.
Yes.
So, in a very simple way, how can you explain what do we need to know about horse management, and how is it related to reproduction?
Okay, perfect. We have to think that this species, equine, it came from 6 billion years of evolution. So they were built by nature to be living outside. And also, they are food. They are being hunting by
Prey animals.
yeah.
Prey animals. Okay.
And we have to think of that. Now we change it. We are keeping them inside. But to be in peace, to have a way of escape, it makes still a huge difference in them. So they are easy, this species is easy to become stressed. So if you have an animal stressed because it's wondering about what can happen because of the food, because have no way to run away if they need, it will not be in a right balance. So if it's not in peace, it's not in a right balance, they will not be able to reproduction, will not be able to take care of the foals properly, even to get a parturition, to get birth. That's the idea. That's the idea. We have to. We cannot forget that they are built to be in a freedom, so and in peace. So that's the main thing that we cannot forget. We have to try to give to them the same kind of peaceful environment, to let them be quiet. That's the idea.
So basically, in a nutshell, what you're saying is that because these animals are prey animals and they live in the wild, and free, we need to match that environment as much as we can in our stable, studs, breeder, whatever you want to call it, in these locations.
Yes, absolutely.
But that's very difficult.
Yeah, it is. Like, let's talk about this baby that's just here. In the nature, why the mares get birth like at 3, 4, 5 a.m. early morning? Why they do that? Because during the night, the animals got together and they get birth. And this baby had to be ready in 2-3 hours to stand up, to drink a milk, and to follow the group.
Wow.
Because of that. So it doesn't make any sense to get a birth in the middle of the day, because the group, one stallion sometimes with 30 mares, this stallion is taking care of the mares. They are moving all the time. So if you have one mare in the middle of the day getting birth, this mare will be a problem for the red.
You slow us down.
Yes, that's the idea. So because of that, the mares are getting birth early morning. That's the idea. It's not by guess, by chance. No, it's a natural behavior.
That's very, I never knew that. That's a really cool.
That's the idea. So we have to try to simulate this a similar environment. So if we start to make noises, to be with lights turned on early morning, things like that, you have a little bit of interference in that. It's not as it should be.
So basically, this human interfering of getting to that detail of the life of the horse is affecting, and this goes into the horse management that we're talking about.
Sure.
Okay. So now, how do we link it again? So we talked about the prey animals, which is out in the wild, and we're talking about animals in the stables and studs.
Yes.
So what can we do? What's there in the stable and the stud that's related to horse management?
Well, first of all, routine.
Routine. Okay.
Routine. The animals, like if you have a cat at your home, you see that the cat do every day, they're going to do the same, and the dog the same, and we have to do the same. We have to have the same time of feeding, the same time of the same partners when you have paddocks, and the same neighbors. So that's the idea. We have to have routine. So if the huge problem for horse management, it's worse than a bad food quality, is the change. Horse don't like change. Okay. If you are doing a bad thing, but if you are doing every day the same, not hating a horse, okay? But feeding them with low quality food, for example, it's less problematic than you keep changing, for example, the food every day.
And the timing.
And the timing and the quality and blah, blah, blah. So change.
So basically, in
they
summary,
don't like
consistency. Horses love consistency.
Yes, that's the main point. That's the main point. You have to keep doing the same thing. And obviously improving the quality of everything.
If we can go a bit deeper into the...
also, sorry
go
to
ahead, go ahead.
And like, for example, if you have one horse being fed by different people every day, doesn't make any sense. It's like, how this horse will trust you if they don't know you? Remember, they are prey. So every day, even if you are talking about a mare or a stallion, every day a new guy is going to them, even with offering food, is going to them, a different one. So first of all, remember, they are prey. They look at you and say, oh my God, what's going to happen? So you have to build a relation with them. And it makes a huge difference in the management and everything.
Interesting. Okay, there's a point that I wanted to talk about, which was light, because you talked about this, and I want to know, light, why is it so important, and I mean, how does this affect horses,
okay,
especially in reproduction?
Yeah. Okay. Again, we have to remember the nature.
Okay, let's go back to nature. Okay.
Let's go back to nature. That's
okay.
it. We are having horses for few thousand years, and they have billions of years of evolution. So they know much more than us. Okay, And the nature said, okay, you have 11 months of pregnancy. Okay, perfect. Which will be the best time of the year to get birth? The best time of the year to have food for the mare and to be in peace and to have food also for the foal. Okay, to be during the summertime because you have in the normal conditions and you're gonna have more raining, you're gonna have more sunlight, you're gonna have more light because darkness is not good for a prey. Okay, and so okay, let's get birth during the summertime. Okay, perfect. And the nature built some strategies, hormonal strategies, that the day length, the amount of the light, makes a click in a reproduction for stallion and also for mares. So with more light, you have more hormonal things happening inside, and it pushes the reproduction in the mare side, in the stallion side. So what is happening? After 11 months, they will get birth during the summertime again. So the nature did that. Just to let you know, for example, sheeps, they have to get birth at the same time, summertime, because more food. Okay, perfect. But the same day length in the physiology of this species that have a short pregnancy time, they have cyclicity, they have reproduction during the winter.
So how much is the duration for the sheep?
Oh,
Is it less than 11 months?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. So what I mean, the target is to get birth during the summertime. So and you cannot change the environment. So the physiology, the nature made the selection to change the tails, hormonal details inside the species, to adjust them to get birth at the same time.
Summer.
So
They're all summer.
Summer. So bigger day length starts the reproduction in horses. A shorter day length starts the reproduction in sheep, for example.
Okay, so are we talking about certain breeds of horses or all of them, regardless?
Horses.
Arabian,
Horses.
thoroughbred, you name it, they're all
Pony mares, all of them.
That's interesting. Okay, so now basically what we understand is because of the daylight has an effect on the basically the horses to improve. Is it to be they're adapted? Basically, you're saying they are adapted because of billions of years, right? That they give birth during summer, and that's it.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
so now it's a common procedure that actually many breed and expect horses to give birth during winter.
Oh, okay.
This is a very common practice.
Yes, yeah, here.
Okay, in the Middle East.
In the Middle East.
Okay.
So, and I absolutely understand that to give birth during the summertime here is a problem because of the summer, blah, blah. Okay, absolutely. The sun, I understand. But you cannot forget that you have to simulate we have to adjust ourselves for that. So we cannot expect to have the same pregnancy rate, for example, if we are working during the winter time as we are now. 4 facts have influence in the reproduction: temperature, nutrition, management, and light.
Okay.
Nutrition, obviously, if you have not a fat mare, but a mare with a good body condition, okay, this mare can keep cycling during the year. Okay, it's okay. But temperature, not that much. But mainly the light. So you can keep the mare inside. You can keep the mare in the paddocks, but don't keep the mare or stallion in the shadows. They need light. So you can keep them inside, but you have to have a light program.
So is there a minimum duration of light that they need to see?
Okay. In general, the problem is the change, the adapted.
Okay.
So, easy way to think is if you keep the light, turn it on until 10 p.m. It's okay.
So are we talking about artificial light or?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. It's one of the strategies. You have many strategies to keep the mares light cycling, or to improve your pregnancy rate, your reproductive numbers. It's possible. It's easy. This is the easiest thing to do. You have many others, but this is the easiest thing. So imagine how complicated it is for the mares and for the stallions. It's if sometimes during the week someone decides to turn on the lights at 2 a.m. and to keep the lights turn it on at 2 to 4 a.m. So in the horse's mind, they would think, okay, is it summer or is it winter? What do you know?
Okay.
Remember again
Okay.
about horse like routine. You cannot change things. You cannot change food. You know, like for example, it's a very, very, very common mistake. People think, okay, this mare is not cycling, okay, in a paddock. So I will start to leave this mare outside. What happened before? Maybe she will like it in the future. The reproduction will be good. But at the first step, the reproduction will be worse.
Okay.
Because what? Because of the change.
Yeah, it needs to get used to this condition right now.
That's it. And the opposite is also the same. Oh, this mare is outside having a lot of sun, not eating well, have a competition with others. I will move to have more care about her. I will leave her now inside in the paddock. Okay, but at the first step, the reproduction not be good.
Okay.
Because of the
the switch and
yeah, the switch.
Okay, so basically again, key consistency.
Yes, again,
Consistency.
again.
But and from what I understand, what you're saying is, regardless if it's sunlight or artificial light, we need to make sure that to have light, not to affect the horse's understanding. Is it day or night? You know, is it summer or winter? And this eventually affects the reproduction for horses.
Absolutely.
So, and when we talk about affects the reproduction, are we talking about the efficiency of what? The you know, success rate of the embryo, or what are we talking about?
Well, trying to not go too
deep. Okay, no.
Okay.
We keep it simple.
The mechanism is the sunlight. It have effect in the pineal gland. Mm-hmm. This pineal gland release one hormone called melatonin.
And this is again for stallions.
Stallions and mare.
Okay.
This melatonin have effect on the hypothalamus.
Okay.
Hypothalamus release another hormone called GnRH. This GnRH leads and controls the releasing of two other hormones.
Wow. Okay.
FSH and LH.
Okay.
So GnRH control everything, and it's controlled by sunlight. So the LH and FSH they will affect in mares ovaries and in stallions testicles. So, and then you have all the reproduction. So what I mean is more light, less in stallions and mares. More light, less melatonin, more GnRH. So more releasing of reproductive hormones.
More light.
More light.
More
So,
light, more hormones.
Yes,
Okay.
that's the point.
Yeah.
You got
That's
the point.
interesting, yeah.
That's it.
Okay. Wow. I tried to follow the chain.
yeah. And also, with this, you have to consider the individual variations. Like, maybe you have one mare or one stallion that really don't care. You're familiar with that. You can move, and people love to say, but I'm doing that change, I'm doing that with that mare, and nothing happened. Yes, it
But
is.
it's not applicable to other mares.
Yes. So individual variations you have. Because of that, you have mares that are cycling during the year easily, and others are not. And oh, that mare is fat. Okay, for some mares to be fat is not good for reproduction. So
Okay.
things like that.
I think
They're special animals.
Dr. Marcio, one of the questions I had is, are there any myths that you see, in the field about, reproduction related to horses
Okay.
that you think maybe you can correct and fix it?
Yes. It's a myth, and it's also a trap.
Uh-huh.
And again, we have to remember the nature. The statement is, mare in heat does not mean ovulation. Mare in heat does not mean that this mare is ready to be bred, is ready to be bred. It's not like that. You have pregnant mares in heat, and you have mares that are not cycling, also in heat.
Okay.
So it's not a trustful signal to breed a mare, to see this mare in heat. And also doesn't mean that a mare that is not in heat, she's not ovulating. Like mares after birth, after to get birth. Sometimes they are taking care of the baby, and even with a huge follicle, for example, ready to ovulate, they will not show the heat because they are taking care of the baby. That's the main point. And also, yeah, that's the point. Well, why I'm saying that? We have to remember that the stallion have to take care of mares in the natural life. And the single thing that keep the stallion interested in mares is the reproduction, because it's the target of the nature. The target is to breed mares, to transmit the genetic information.
Offspring.
So, if during the winter time all the mares are pregnant, the stallion will not be taking care of them because they are not in heat. They are not interested for him. So this stallion in the nature will leave them, and it's not interesting. So the nature developed these strategies like pregnant mares in heat, mares that are not cycling, they are also in heat sometimes, even without huge follicles, ready to ovulate, to keep this stallion interested in them, in this herd, taking care of them. That's the idea. We have to remember that. So tricky points about equine reproduction that make
That maybe
make
a lot
bit
of people
different.
didn't know this fact, or maybe they knew, but they're not really acting upon it. Maybe.
Yeah, we have to remember that they know, the stallions and the mares, they know about reproduction much more
for
than
sure,
us.
for sure, more than us. Yeah.
That's the idea. They are trying sometimes to explain to us, no, don't breed me. Don't breed me. I'm not ready. And what people do, they tie the mare and bring the stallion. Not like that. They know at the end, they know better than us. And if something is not okay, it means that we are not being able to understand the picture. They know more than us. We cannot forget that.
That's actually interesting. Yeah. Wow. So, Dr. Marcio, a question I had is in terms of trying to breed stallions.
Okay.
Some people assume, the more you try, the better outcome.
Yes.
And I
Yes.
assume in terms of the quality, it's not really that great. I mean, what can you share with us about that point?
Okay, perfect. We have to keep in mind that when you have a stallion breeding a mare, doesn't mean that, first of all, the ejaculation occurred, and second, the quality of the sperm into that ejaculation. I mean, the quality of sperm cells and also the quantity. If you consider the mare side, sometimes the mare will be in heat 7 days in average, and the ovulation will occur in the day 5. So, if you breed a mare in the first day of heat, you just throw away the ejaculation, because in average, the sperm will not survive 5 days. So, if you are using the stallion every day, what it means? You are depleting the amount of sperm produced by this stallion and throwing it away because the mare is not ready.
So, what is the best way to confirm the mare is ready?
Okay, 2 ways. The easiest way is to verify the heat every day. Before ultrasonography, people used to do that. So you have to tease the mares, all the mares, every day. And when you have, it's a blind way to do that. It's not a more efficient, but it's a blind way. So if you know, okay, this is the first day of heat, okay, it's perfect. You can skip this one. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, okay.
Is it
Three to 4
confirmed? Is it confirmed on the 5th day? This is
Yeah, in average. In average,
okay.
you have
so you have a
variation.
better chance to go with the 5th
Yes,
day than
that's
any
the
of the
idea.
others.
With one single, using the stallion one single time.
Okay.
So obviously it's not the same that you have a vet, you are scanning the mares, using ultrasonography, having a semen collection, evaluating this sperm. And the bad thing when you have a semen collection, you can split a single ejaculate for several mares. So it's a waste of very expensive in terms of genetic and nature cells for a single mare. Just a quick thing. In average, depending of the breed, you can have 9 billions of sperm in one ejaculation. But to breed a mare, you only need or less than 500 millions. So it means that you can use a single ejaculate, you can split for several mares. Why are you gonna use that for a single one? So that's the idea. And you have a limited capacity of sperm production per day by the stallion. So it's pointless to use this one, single and very expensive thing for a single mare. You have to split. So you save time and you save production, you save sperm of that expensive stallion for more mares. It means efficiency, reproductive efficiency. That's the idea.
Dr. Marcio, In summary, in conclusion, I wanted to actually close this out by saying or asking a question. What can you give us to walk away from this interview? Something that is simple and that any breeder or stud or stable can apply and actually improve the reproduction of horses.
Okay. Well, many things can be done,
Okay.
but yes. But talking about reproduction is linked with management.
Okay.
So let's try to avoid changes,
Okay. Very good.
huge changes that I said. Let's keep in mind the light, the day length. It makes a huge difference. And also, two more things. Let's take care of stallions. They need to walk around, they need to be in contact with the light and everything. And also, the last one, mare in heat does not mean this mare will ovulate. We have to consider several things. So it was not in one line, but the things that I would like to suggest people to keep in mind. The list is bigger, but okay, it's enough for now.
Okay, thank you. Look, Dr. Marcio, I really enjoyed this session and this talk. Extremely interesting. Going in depth about reproduction in this way. And thanks for taking the time to sit down with us.
Yeah, it was a pleasure, and feel free anytime if you need more explanations, more things. I try to be not too detailed, but I try my best. I hope you like it.
It's okay. I really enjoyed it. Thank you very much.
It will be a pleasure.
Okay,
Thank you so much.